Here's how much I spent. Hi, welcome to Dreams Traveled. In this video, I'm gonna tell you how much I spent in the 53 days that I traveled throughout Europe. So say hi to my tote bags. So I solo traveled throughout Europe for 2 months with a carry-on and a backpack.
Thank you.
Here's how to afford to travel for 53 days. If you want to travel, if that is your goal, right now, start a savings. Right now, every time you get paid, put away a percentage of money towards your traveling, if it's that important to you. Hostels are the most affordable accommodation when you are traveling in Europe. It can go anywhere from 20 euros, maybe 15 euros. My accommodation was always hostels unless I really needed to stay in a hotel. So in the 53 days, I did stay in a hotel 3 times, but every other night I stayed in a hostel. If you do want to fly, it is pretty cheap, but if you are going long distance, it does get more expensive. I met a girl who had a flight from Rome to Vienna for 10 euros. But my flight from Amsterdam, which is more in the northern part of Europe, all the way to Sicily in the southern part of Europe, was 157 euros, which is $190. So it just really depends on where you are flying. The price of trains depends on where you are. So in the UK, everything tends to be more expensive. My train from Liverpool to London was 64 pounds. My train from Rome to Florence was 37 euros. So it just depends where you are. Transportation. Getting to the next location is gonna be more expensive, but when you're actually in the location, you can walk everywhere. Maybe you can take a bus, that's a couple of euros, so it's really not that expensive. So if you're looking for affordable locations to go to in Europe, stay out of the cities. The cities are the most touristic places. So maybe go an hour out of the city, and the plus side is that you get to see a authentic local point of view of that country, rather than a tourist city. So you're not only paying for the transportation to get from country to country and the accommodation, you are also paying for the transportation to get from the train or bus station to your accommodation, whether that be Uber, Bolt, taxi, Lyft, whatever. In all the places that I went to, I stayed for about 2 to 4 days. Edinburgh, I did stay for a week because I got extremely ill, and that was the place where I spent the most amount of money because I stayed there the longest. Out of all the places that I stayed for 2 to 4 days, which was the most expensive? Liverpool. Well, Liverpool was expensive because I bought an 80-pound taxi tour. I bought a lot of souvenirs because I'm a Beatles fan, so I bought a lot of things. Now, where was the most expensive place outside of the UK, you may ask? Florence, Firenze. I spent 5 days there, and my hostel was 20 euros a night. Where did I spend the least amount of money? Bratislava, Slovakia. It's a very small city. Everything is very affordable, and there's actually a lot of locals there. So what I would recommend is, if you do want to travel affordably, you need to try to stay in the same area. So I went to Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Bratislava, and Budapest, which is all in the same vicinity, and it's very cheap to travel from place to place. So do try to plan it like that. For an example, from Vienna to Bratislava, which is an hour bus ride, was 14 euros. So how much did I actually spend in the 53 days that I traveled throughout Europe? I spent 4,370 euros, which is equivalent to $5,307. Now, I'm not saying this to flex on anyone, but I And saying this so that you can understand how much you need to save and how much you are going to spend if you do decide to solo backpack throughout Europe for 53 days. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this helped you in some way for when you're planning on traveling throughout Europe, and let me know if you have any questions down below and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.